Hi, my name is Emily Sharp. I do not have an audience today, and today I'll be telling you guys about how you can help when a natural disaster hits and what happens when a natural disaster how natural disasters can bring people closer together. I want you to think back. I want you to think back to when Florence hit. Did you leave or did you stay? Were you affected or were you completely fine through the whole thing? Did you lose everything or was everything okay? Did you help or did you stay at home? What if I told you that you weren't alone if you lost everything? When Florence hit, the New Bern High School Marching Bears went out with all the other teams and helped rebuild homes and tear them down and sort through all the things that had to get thrown away. There was one night at 5 o'clock in one neighborhood that everyone came together in the street. They had a giant potluck together. They didn't let the flood affect them. They just brought them together. What I'll be talking to you today about is what is a natural disaster, how it affects people, and what you can do to help. What is a natural disaster? A natural disaster is an event in a case of a flood, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, etc. that causes death or loss. Examples of natural disaster are tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, and earthquakes, and many more. These are some examples of natural disasters. We got a hurricane, tsunami, earthquake, and tornado. Now, how you're affected by a natural disaster is a complete different effect on where you live. Hurricanes never hit Africa, but they come off the coast of Africa. Snow down here affects completely different how it is up north, where they're trained for the snow. Every place is different based on where they are and how it affects them. In North Carolina, we have had tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, lightning strikes, snow, and ice storms. Snow doesn't seem like a natural disaster. However, if you're down here and you're not trained for it and you're driving in the snow, and ice hits your tires and you spin off, you can result in a natural causity, which is death. What can you do when a natural disaster hits? During Florence, there was churches, schools, and sports teams, a whole bunch of other organizations that came to help. Churches provided shelter and food, along with the local schools. I know Bendy Quinn Elementary School provided shelter for those who needed it, and schools provided lunches and food for those who also needed it. Sports teams from these schools, such as the marching team, football team, the baseball, wrestling, etc., all went out and helped people that were affected. They had to help tear down the homes and bring in new things and sort through old things. Volunteer work. You can join so many organizations to help through it all, such as CERT, which stands for Community Emergency Responsibility Teams. There's also American Red Cross, and you can also donate blood. Donate blood is a huge part of anything. There's also a huge organization called AmeriCorps that a lot of people don't know about, but it is very helpful. AmeriCorps is a program of the Corporation of National and Community Service, an independent federal agency whose mission is to improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civics engagement through service and volunteering. You donate a year to this organization, and they send you off to wherever natural disaster hits. You have to be between the ages of 18 and 21. When the natural disaster hits, you go and help rebuild homes, give out food, make sure everyone is okay, and they pay for most of your college after the year is done. In conclusion, I want to restate that no matter what happens to anyone or anything in a natural disaster, that you will always be okay. There's a person out there in the world who's there to help you. You're never going to be left alone through anything. You'll always be there with someone who's there for you, and they know exactly what you've gone through. You're never alone. Natural disaster is something that can happen out of the blue, but it's how you take it that affects how the outcome is. Just as that neighborhood who had the lunch on the road. Helping one person might not change the world, but it can change that one person's world.